Okay, we're back in business.
Back in the studio.
Back in the studio.
Because of course we also have a studio.
Yes.
So I want to talk about two things before we go into.
Let's.
The production value is all thanks to you guys. That is something I really want to say, because I appreciate that because of the Patreon.
Yeah.
There are a couple of people who are patrons of Wak-Wak.
Okay.
And the money I get there is the ones that bought all this equipment.
Your tie?
Not the tie.
Blue-red tie?
This is my Dior tie.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice one.
The Patreon money can't afford Dior stuff.
Okay.
No, but all the new lavalier mics and the hand cams and the things that makes it possible, that's thanks to you guys, the Patreons. Thank you. That was the first thing.
Right.
The second thing, we were rating my beer cellar.
Yeah.
So we took pretty boring beer.
It's Brooklyn Black Chocolate Stout.
Yeah, it's a very classic stout. Let's see if this is as far as I can.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine as well. It's a classic
general
stout.
idea.
It comes to Sweden once a year, and it's super cheap for an imperial stout in Swedish.
Sure.
And therefore, usually buy a bunch because it's super good if you just let it sit a couple of years.
Okay.
This has actually gone over the top, but that makes it very interesting to taste.
Okay, cool.
If you haven't tasted before.
Sure. No,
so
no,
this
no,
is
no.
winter 2012-2013.
Okay.
So it has some years.
How long is the optimal storage?
Between 3 to 5, 4, I would say.
Okay. And this is like 6, so therefore
Yeah.
6, 7, a little bit much. So
It's a bit more boring.
Sure.
That's what happens when it's
Okay, so it loses a little bit of the, of the taste?
First of all, it's when the first years, it becomes more and more compact and sweeter, not like a new stout has some taste there, and some there, and something there.
Okay.
And it becomes more consistent.
Right.
After a while, it loses tastes instead. Because that's just what happens. But cheers, and let's talk about the pre-boarded games.
Yeah. So
we haven't put in the score.
The results, yeah. So, but it is 2-2.
It is 2-2.
And also the player was who was on the play who won every time. Not that it matters. I mean, in the last game, for example, it's by far not a tempo game, so it was not about that. But was that actually the
Twitch.tv Wak-Wak beer reviews?
I mean, we could probably do some kind of channel of that as well.
Yeah, we could do a big analysis of everything.
I mean, there could be probably like a sub-channel of Wak-Wak doing only beer reviews.
Yeah.
Maybe that could... I mean, I could see the possibility of beer reviewing being kind of a bigger thing than old school Magic in like general audience.
Do you think the audience is bigger?
So you could maybe... I mean, both are very good things to have in your life. And they're kind of similar, but I think like I know maybe 1 or 2 more people who like good beer than like old school Magic, but it's about that maybe.
Yeah, I think it's probably more fun to do it at the same time.
Sure, yeah. Hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, like
exactly, because most people who like old school also like beer.
Of course.
Birds in hand, beer.
Right.
Okay.
So I think it was 2-2. I think the player who was on the play won every time but we have already forgotten that, I think.
But that's true because it was 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2.
But it was not about that. I never drew a bottle, but at the same time, you never drew a shadow, and we have equal number of them. I did draw as many vices as I should.
I only had Counterspell, Mana, and Counterspell 1 game. That was the last game for 1 Atog.
Yes.
That's also like I drew very strange hands, but that is a problem with blue-red. For those who have looked, the blue-red mana base is horrible, and that was one thing before we played, I also told you that I think the shatters are better than they seem, even though I don't play that many artifact sources.
Sure, my shatters. Well, the last game now, yeah. If you had
Oh, if I had Soul Ring, the
instead
game was over.
something. No, but like if one of your land had been a Mox, I could have shadowed that, and that would have been the same for me.
Yeah,
as well.
But
So
the
no,
Soul Ring.
no, we're not finished yet. This was just the pre-board games. Our plan is to play. As this went so fast, our plan is to play 6 post-board games.
Yeah.
We had a couple of hours here, so we're just starting out.
Just starting out.
This is just the studio's break in between boarding, I think.
Yeah, the Breaking Bad part
I guess.
with the 6-year-old stout. But no, that's the thing. The mana is so hard.
Yeah, so
'Cause if I had Soul Ring,
you're telling me my shatters are better than they look?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think you should keep them all. Absolutely not in the post boards. But
Sure.
imagine the Soul Ring game.
Yeah.
Then I would have been able to like keep up blue if I took it easy.
Trust
one
me,
more blue.
you do not need to explain to me how good shatter is in general in the Atog deck, because it's the red sinkhole, as we said, and everything like that.
No, but
so
it actually and the blue-red deck, I've discussed this with a couple of people. Like, what do you do when you go to Eternal Central and can play strip mods? And I need to go up to 30 sources.
How many do you have now? 25?
25.
No, I don't think so.
No, but almost. Like,
Yeah.
Because it's so many games. Because I only have like 9 red sources, and we saw that earlier.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Or maybe you don't play blue-red in Eternal Central.
Yeah, that's also. But
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if I think Atog is favored here, that advantage is getting so much multiplied when you go to AC, because Atog is the one deck in the format that benefits the most from playing 4 strip mines because of Uncombine.
Yep, I can live with that. And workshops. It's quite close, I would say, who benefits most of the strip mine. Because if you can play a 3-mana land and then strip.
Sure.
But they're quite close.
But both of those actually, yeah.
They're absolutely top decks.
But also AC is not really all the rage anymore. We don't have to think so much about AC. We can go to the US and play 1 strip mine these days.
Yeah.
Let's.
Ole asks why I played Ancestral with Lotus on your own turn 1 when you knew you had Counterspell on top. I didn't have Counterspell on top. I had Volcanic Island, which was my only blue land, and that was on top of the library. I wanted to play a blue land, and I also wanted to put pressure in playing the Flying Men turn 1. Sure. That's why I did it turn 1, instead of keeping it up, maybe sacking it for a Counterspell and Ancestral. Because I think I had Counterspell.
So no other lands?
Okay, that land.
I don't know. Seems an okay plan as well. Ancestral Counterspell and just playing bad lands. And probably like bolting or something, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It's definitely a possible line, I guess.
No, but I may have had the Counterspell in hand also, and then your argument is still valid.
I think so. Counterspell is once you have the mana, and I don't have like a Vice Lock on you, it is a good card in the matchup as well. Because Counterspell is not bad tempo play as well once you have the cards. Yeah, so how sideboard, as we have somebody actually keeping track of what we're saying there?
Yeah. I thought we were going for the games first, and then sure.
I think so, yes. So pre-board. No. Pre-board, it feels
or my mana.
I think your sofa is worth less than several playmats I've spilled beer on before. You know, I did spill beer on Magnus's 6 playmat. It was not my fault.
Yeah. Oh.
It was not my fault.
It was you on the 6 playmat.
It was not my fault. It was not my fault.
Yeah, sure.
It was very, very level. I'm blaming Mag.
Someone in the chat says...
Audio's popping?
Audio's popping. I have the audio meters here, and I think we're... Okay.
Is anybody else having any audio problems?
We have the...
We do have a lot of audio stuff. I don't know. We have cables all over the place.
But we have quite a high volume, though, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Audio is popping, and your voices are also comically low compared to how you normally sound.
Weird. How does that... Does it look like it showed only
Yeah, that's the
audio
thing.
card? Were you here before? Did we have problems while playing the games as well, or is it a new thing?
That's strange. But Svante,
Because
talk
it's
about
still a problem.
sideboard for your deck, and I'll check.
Sure. Okay. Good to have you here, by the way, Dave.
Minimal
Dave.
access.
Hi, Dave.
What the f?
Yeah. Okay. During the games, also, they say. So maybe there's something in general with the audio. Okay. We have a tech guy going at the potential audio issues, and
shit. Yeah, something has happened.
something's happened, says tech guy. So we're gonna somehow fix that. And in the meantime, okay. So about the matchup in general, I think these were a good 4-game set. We were having about average number of most of the good things, average number of power starts, and maybe I drew a little bit more power, but there were power everywhere and stuff like that. And by the way, all this is it's fine, as you see on the games.
No, but it should be better now as well. A bit lower, but it shouldn't.
So let's try that. So I think that it was like we both gotta do our things. There were some interesting lines as well. We don't really know what happens, and I mean whose advantage or not, and it feels kind of interesting and working and stuff. For sideboarding,
The sun came
so
up, I just needed to-
some point here is our deck was built for confusing the opponent with having
makes
bottles in the main and dibs in the board. So how we drew it up is that in this matchup we play bottle before board, then the opponent shaves some of their Raven guys because they're afraid of bottle, and we take out all our bottles and bring in the dibs.
And that makes me go.
And the library, and then dib is very good here. And I mean, the few dibs or whatever you keep, we can handle anyway. But now that you know, also like if we have not shown any bottle at all, and think the opponent does not assume we have that and keep in all the guys, then we do not bring in dibs and just keep the game 1 configuration of bottles instead and try to just bottle them game 2 instead, because bottle is so important when they're here. The problem here is that you know our exact list. So you know that we have these kinds of plants, and then it's so much more different to know what to do, how to keep it and not. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do. I'm not sure how you're going to board.
I don't know how my board looks.
Look, that's also true. So I mean, it's probably going to be a little bit back and forth between games, and also the thing about Atog is that you want to board differently on the play and on the draw in several games, because the Vice Ankh package is so much better on the play in general. So there are, like, against very low curve aggro decks, it doesn't matter that much because then Ankhs are bad even on the play. But against a lot of mid-range things, for example, in general, the Ankhs go out on the draw but come in on the play. And maybe like you shave some Vices on the draw, but have them on the play always.
Did we change my sideboard for black vices?
No.
No, we didn't.
No.
Okay.
So the board is very, very close to the one that Brad Stebo played.
Yeah, which
to
was
win
very close to my 2016.
Yes, maybe even more of that now. So it's basically a very, very stock sideboard with no weird things that way.
My deck is with like 2 to 4 changes through both sideboard and main deck.
Yeah.
The same as
So
till 2016.
we'll also see how long this will take. I mean, 6 games. I think we should be able to get through 6 games unless they are very drawn out. Because, as I said, because both of us have this bolt and burn plan. So if nothing happens, somebody just wins in the end.
Yep.
Because there are so many things that actually reduce the opponent's life to 0. So if we should end up like way before we think we should, or when we have to go, we might switch decks.
Yep.
So I'll play for the blue-red side instead.
Yep.
We
And
also
you played a lot of blue-red through your days.
I have never played blue-red in my whole life, in one game. Never one game in any kind of situation, not like casual game or anything. I've never played.
And the same is true with...
I have never cast the card Flying Men in my entire life, I believe.
Okay.
In any kind of format.
You, get out of here. That's just... God damn it.
So, I mean, I do own a playset,
Team Flying Man.
so I'm gonna play it at some point. But also, you know, Mono Blue Merfolk is tier 1 these days.
Yeah, Mono Blue Merfolk is probably one of the
Without
top
dibs.
4 decks.
Without dibs.
Without certain dibs, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
You play the actual fish instead.
Exactly, Dan Dan.
Yeah.
Big fish.
I got hit by a fish.
It's one of the best stories from New God.
Yeah, I'm Jordan Ball's master. Such master.
Killing 2 out of 3
Yeah.
Atog.
But then I actually
Team
lost to Atog again, the other Atog deck in the top 8.
That was a bit sad. But
I was happy I didn't have to face him again. I would have been scared shit as if I had to face him again.
Like,
because I
play?
I was playing the winner of his and Olan's match.
damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
No drawbacks? What are you talking about? It has a scimitar on it.
Exactly.
It's a fucking huge drawback. It also blue. It also dies to Elemental Blast. The one while fly with no drawback, that is Script Sprite.
Yeah.
You have to get with your chance.
Scrib Sprite,
Script Sprite, that is an underappreciated card.
that is a super good card.
Yeah.
Like the Green Stomp deck, that's also a new con story.
Yeah, the day after.
The day after
Yeah.
Turneringen.
Yeah. Nikita going
Yeah.
5-0, 6-0?
5-0.
5-0. Mono green.
Mono green,
aggro.
powerless with 1
Did he play Timberwolves?
No.
He did not play Timberwolves. Day first board will be so upset.
The Timberwolves is the banding one.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. He played some strange creatures.
Obviously,
shortly,
he was mono green.
but he did play one of the things most people ask, why did he play it, was Elves of Deep Shadow.
Okay.
Because he don't need back mana. Everything
Sure.
is just a single green almost.
Sure. He just one more.
Except he plays for Ice Storm. So he
So you
plays
wanna do
8
that-
dorks so he can play Ice Storm turn 2.
Yeah.
At least that's my thought
Can see that.
why. Otherwise those should probably be Timberwolves.
I guess. I mean, banding is underrated.
Banding is just horribly broken.
It's very good. But he did not play the Emerald Dragonflies either, right?
No, but they cost 2 mana.
Sure,
That's
but
a
they're
lot.
good cards.
Are they really?
Yeah, I mean, you Giant Growth it, and then it just kills a Sarah Angel. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Well, let's play-
I've never seen an Emerald Dragonfly kill a Sarah. I can honestly say
What do
so.
you think about playing some Sideboarding games?
Chat, what do you think? Should we go back to the game area?
It's gonna have to be a short break as we're gonna actual sideboard. I mean, we can do that on camera, but we're gonna sideboard and agonize over that a bit. But
Yeah,
I think it's time to leave the studio and go back to the playing area.
I think so as well. But it was so fun drinking beer and
You know, we can drink beer and talk while we're sideboarding and playing some games. I think people might want to see us playing games as well. The problem is that I have a little bit harder time seeing the chat, but I think I can. Maybe I should just bring that up on my. No, then I can
What?
see it.
the setup.
No, but I can see it on the chat. I think. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the cyber plan for Blue Red.
That is true.
And,
I mean, you probably killed some guys anyway.
I
Maybe not.
definitely take the controller role.
Have you taken more beer yet?
No,
Right.
you like this is a 12% beer.
No, it's 10.
Maybe take it a bit easier. It's 10, yeah. 10, sorry. But no, it shaved some guys. I don't know how many, because I expect bottles to stay in.
What do you think about Chain
because
Lightning?
I don't know that there are serendibs coming in.
You don't? I mean, I think you could play this.
Should we play it
I
like
mean,
we would have, or
I think you can
with
play
full
it like
information?
if you and I were facing off in a tournament now. Because both of us have stock lists by now. I mean, I think the cat is out of the bag of Atog, so the relevant thing right now is to know how Atog fares in the matchup when we have the knowledge that everybody has, because everybody Or like a lot of people know we have the dibs now.
Well,
So I think you should board with the full knowledge because otherwise it's just a kind of a crypt game. I mean, we know how it works there. We should just do it.
but we have the Stebba here, maybe in the blind, something like -4 Shin Lightnings.
Oh, Bane Highway is Seba, okay.
No, I think I said that earlier. And -6 creatures, quite like cutting the men.
Sure, I mean that was basically what we were expecting, I think.
Minus Jet, that's removing a mana source. Maybe, yeah. Plus all the blasts, of course, 6 blasts. The free flux, +1 shatter, +1 boomerang. For me, it's 2 shatters instead.
Yeah, boomerang is horrible. I mean, there should not even be a boomerang on the board, as I try to tell everybody. But,
I like
like having it as well.
But that's for a completely different matchup.
Yeah.
That's for enchantments. That's for black, abyss, dreams.
But it's so bad against abyss. You can't boomerang an abyss. It's fucking horrible. They just play it again and your guys die.
Yeah, you counter it.
Fuck it. No, the boomerang is horrible.
No, it's not.
But yeah, like cutting something like 6 guys seems kind of reasonable, and chains are obviously bad. But the thing is also, I mean, we were discussing this with, I mean, when you Stebo in the finals against Michael Scheffenhager's Atog deck, like chains are, at least on the draw, chains are okay to get your hand size down under vice. If you can't just board in too many expensive things instead, because then you might just die to vice.
Yeah, exactly. Like this.
Yeah, okay, sure. Cutting Jet because you bring in Flux. What do you think about that? I mean, you're the Flux guy. I have not played much Flux. Do you ever do that in general?
No, I don't. Because if I bring in Flux, I want to play it as soon as possible and actually.
Sure, that is.
It's
that
okay
is the point, yeah.
losing a Mox against the right deck.
Sure. Are you fluxing here?
In this matchup?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
Probably.
But I don't think all 3.
Okay.
Because the deck has a problem in the 3 slot. We talked about it earlier.
You can be viced otherwise.
There's so...
But maybe you're cutting vices, dibs here?
Yeah. Cutting 2 dibs for 2 fluxes, for example, keeps the curve the same. But, like, Flux is great against you. You play all the mocks and more.
Yeah.
And as I said, I'm taking the control role, so with 4 shadows as well, destroying what's left and blasts.
You don't even have 4 shadows. You have 3.
I have 4.
No, we have 3, I think.
I should have 4.
You have
2 main, 2 sideboard.
2 plus 1. You have just 1 sideboard. I built your sideboard.
Yeah, but why didn't you? Okay, I have 4.
No, you don't.
No, I'm going to rebuild the
Fuck
sideboard.
off.
Of course I have
You're not
4.
gonna. No. You have fluxes. Why do you want 4 shadows?
We talked about that while we
I
were
did
building,
not,
and
no,
I said I like pinpoint removal.
I didn't listen to you.
Because the deck is more afraid of like City, a bottle, Ivory Tower, things like that, than just prisoning out with Flux.
Okay.
So
yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to change that in the sideboard. And now let's go to the sideboard. Let's just remove all count spells.
I mean, I think counterspell is horrible. You have to cut something for blasts, right?
Yeah.
Counterspell is just begging to be stranded in hand for under Vice Unclock, or at least just Vices.
It is hard, as we said, with the mana.
Like if
it's also like one of the few.
I mean, you have to at least shave at least 2 or something.
Yeah, well, of course, shave some for the blasts.
Keep mana drain, I think, because it's broken.
But I don't know exactly there. It depends. When you shave that many creatures...
And also, like, counterspells is better on the play. On the draw, I think you have to cut them all, maybe, because you lose 2 Vice.
Yeah, that may be true. Like, it really changes up how many counterspells you want to play. I don't think it's just remove them all.
Do you want to Blood Moon me? You know I don't have any bad base lands?
Yeah, still I don't want to Blood Moon you.
Are you sure?
No, but as I said, I'm absolutely the control role in the matchup.
Yeah, usually.
I want to stop you from killing me, hopefully play a threat and kill you.
One thing about Flying Man is that if he keeps all the Flying Man, my Chain Lightnings are maybe okay. But if he doesn't, then my Chain Lightnings are fucking horrible. So it's very hard for me as well to know how good my chain lightnings are, because I mean chain lightning is not great, uncommon destroy is not great,
And therefore,
I think we're going to go and look
we're
at
going
our
to go into
sideboards
the
instead.
sideboards.
Yeah.
Because, for real, I've never played this matchup, and it's like 2 years since I played
Back
the
in
deck.
3 minutes.
So we'll be back in 3 minutes, and I will sideboard as a drunken master and hope for the best. Hopefully,
always
like Olle and Stebo, you can write in the chat what I do wrong and correct me when I sideboard. Svante won't look. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.